coming to side effects of Ayurveda, like you've already stated in between about the metals, this is something which most people have, that lead, arsenic, and mercury रहता है in Ayurvedic formulations, and over time they may lead to kidney and liver failure and things like that. So, is it really true that if somebody has Ayurvedic medicine for an extensive period of time, is the composition of metals above the safe levels, or I know that now that you clarified that these metals undergo a purification process as prescribed by Ayurveda, so they must be safe. But what about the amount? Has
Now there
there?
are
Hmm.
there are two three angles to this. One is the process by which you make the medicine. If you make the medicine in that particular textual way authentically, there is no problem at all. We don't even need to think about these things. For this best, I had heard Bangalore IIT or Madras IIT, Bangalore IIT, I
ISC,
guess.
I guess. Now you had mentioned ISC in between some
Yeah,
time.
Bangalore IIT, I guess. My father's friend was there who had given a small project to them, and he was telling my father that did make few formulations the same way which is mentioned in the text, and they formulated the medicines. And after formulating, they tested it in the lab and all were falling under this entire safe category of human consumption. That I remember hearing from him around almost 12, 15 years back or 10 years back, I guess. So if you make the medicines in that particular mentioned way, authentic way, then that medicine is not going to give you any kind of trouble. Question comes, if the pharmacies, while making the process, if do some mistake, or if some mistake happens by chance, by incidence, by accident, and the medicine is not formulated correctly, and that comes to a market, and if that gives you some trouble, then that's a total different story, because it comes under the evaluation of FDA. The Food and Drug Administration is responsible, and it has its own control over it, that where how the pharmacies should work. And it's a responsibility of a pharmacy to produce an authentic drug and to supply it to the market. I don't think that any pharmacy will do a mischievous job in making a medicine just for the sake of their fun,
But the
or just,
FDA will anyway conduct the test to see the threshold of these metals, right? To see
those
whether
kind
they
of
are
things.
exceeding a certain percentage and all.
Yeah,
So,
there are ways to check that and all. The process is there. The pharmacies do follow that kind of a process. But if some mischievous thing the pharmacies do at their end, or
with regard to the purification process, you mean? Not with regard to exceeding the.
not only the purification process, the making process as well.
Okay.
If some mistake happens, if they do or not is not a story. If mistakes, any kind of mistake, if happens while making the medicine, and that is not only applied to Ayurveda, any medicine you take from modern medicine, any medicine you take from homeopathy, any medicine you take from any pathy, if the medicine is not made in a proper way, or rather any mistake has been happened, and if you without noticing, if it comes to market, then that kind of a thing can happen. But the notion which is going on since last 25, 30 years in the market, that Ayurvedic medicines do contain lead and mercury and all and whatnot, and they damage your liver, they damage your kidneys, they damage your brain, and whatever they say, it's actually a baseless thing as per me. Because mine is the fourth generation in my family. We are also using many kind of herbo mineral and mineral products. We ourselves consume those products. We make our own medicines. So we see that there is nothing which is wrong happening everywhere at any given point. So we prepare our own medicines, we give it to our own patients only. The same medicines we consume. Okay. So my son is 12, 13 years old now. He has also consumed a medicine which is having lead, which is having mercury. He's there, 13 years old. So if you make the medicine in a proper authentic way, then these kind of claims don't stand at all. That is what only I can tell, because there are many questions there raised by many people. I'll tell them again the same thing, that if you want to understand Ayurveda, learn from the Ayurvedic text. So if you want to learn Ayurvedic medicines, then learn the authentic process which is mentioned in the Ayurvedic text itself, and see what is actually being done over there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is not only about metals, this is about how to make the medicine. Now, the medicines which are not even having metals,
Mm-hmm.
okay, simple medicine which is used for local application, something like Shatadhaut Ghrut. Shatadhauta Ghruta means Shata is 100, Dhauta is washed, and Ghrita is ghee. So, ghee which is 100 times washed in medicines, particularly rose water, in a copper vessel or something like that. That's a process. Now, if a pharmacy is going to wash it for 100 times, the medicine will not be available for masses, because it will be a totally
Very
costly
expensive.
affair. Yeah,
Yeah.
it will be totally costly affair, because ghee itself, a pure ghee itself nowadays comes around 2000 to 3000 rupees a kg. But there, few alterations are done by the pharmacies, where they don't wash the ghee 100 times, but they wash the ghee lesser times. By doing that, they don't give you hazardous effects, they will give you less effect. 100 time washed ghee and 10 times washed ghee, definitely the 10 times washed ghee is going to give you less effect. It is not like that, it is not going to give you effect. One time washed ghee also gives you excellent effect. I make my own ghee, so I know how the formulations can be altered. And same way, pharmacies also deal with these kind of problems, and that's how they alter the processes which are told or informed to the FDA, and the process is there. Point is, any kind of medicine, even if it is of made from metals, heavy metals, or not from metals or any other substances, it should be made in a proper way. If you are altering the process, there are options given in the ancient text itself, how to alter the process. If you want to
Okay.
alter, if there is a problem, there are processes mentioned in Ayurveda. Say suppose there is a process of purity, and particularly about, say, sulfur. So sulfur has to be melted in ghee and then washed in milk. This
Okay.
is a simple process of purity. Okay,
Mm.
this is one thing. Now, another thing, another any other metal, if we take, say suppose iron is there, copper is there, or any other metal is there, there are particular things mentioned in which the process has to be done specifically for that metal. But at the same time, the text also mentions that if that particular thing is not available, then what other things you can use. And they have even given you a specific list of items that you can simply process it 7 times in one, two, three, four, five options in a way.
Okay.
तैले तक्रे गवाम मुत्रे ह्यार नाले कुलत्थ जे, ऐसे that's a श्लोक. So first in oil, then in buttermilk, then in cow urine, then in other things. So this is how the text has already given the alternatives also.
Okay. Got it.
Medicine has to be prepared in authentic way only. Either you follow the specific thing or you follow the generalized thing, the results are going to be there if you make the medicine in a very uh, particular authentic way.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
That is the basic thing one has to remember. So now after this, again we'll come to another example, which is of various kinds of liquids, the decoctions, which is called as kadha or kashayam, and known to many. Few famous are also there, which generally healthy people also take, something like drakshasav, something like ashwagandha rishtam. Nowadays people take that arjuna rishtam. Now there is a concept of decoction, and there are types in that also. Kwath, Asav, Arishtam. These are the three categories. Now, Kwath means freshly prepared kwath decoction. Something like, I take water, I put the herbs into that, then I boil it to some extent. Say, suppose, like, I'm taking 100 liters of water and I'm putting the herbs in that ratio, and then I'm boiling it to 25 liters. That is a basic process. This also has specific processes where if I boil from 100 liters to 50 liters, what will be the effect? If I boil from 100 liters to 25 liters, what will be the effect? If I boil it from 100 liters to 75 liters, what will be the process effect? If I boil it from 100 to 10 liters, what will be the effect? This is also prescribed. This is also given in the ancient text. But generally, 100 to 25 liters is the general process. Now, kadha itself, as per the definition, has to be made fresh to drink. But now, since the requirement of the market is so huge that if you make fresh kadha, it is not going to last for more than 2 to 3 days because it is going to get spoiled due to fungal growth and everything. So for that, when the kadha has to go into the market, the kadha has to get some kind of preservative into that to stabilize, so it can last for 3 days. It can last for 3 years. I
Three
mean, not
years. 3 years.
three. And this is allowed by the FDA. Why 3 years? Because the preservatives which are used are having the expiry of 3 years. Okay. So now, why this is in a practice? Because even in cities like Mumbai, where I practice, patients come and if I tell them, okay, take these herbs, boil them, take 4 cups of water and boil it to 1 cup, the patient will say, Doctor, I don't have time. Give me something ready. Okay. So for that purpose, pharmacies have come up with this kind of solution for kadha. But at the same time, the two other categories, asav and arishta, these are the kadhas themselves, or rather, aristas are kadhas themselves. But after making the kadha is the decoction is put for fermentation, natural fermentation. Okay. After fermentation, same as wine, as much old as it gets, excellent are the results.
That is in
So
case of Arishta, you said. Arishta. Asav
arishtam,
and Arishta both.
arishtam and asav both, the yeah, exactly, as good as it gets old, as old as it gets, it
The
gets
better,
better.
the potency is better. Huh.
So it is same for asav and arishta. Aristas are made, the first the kada is made and then the fermentation process happens. Asav are made from fruits, basically. Fresh fruits, juices are taken and then they are naturally fermented, same like wine, but not by the yeast. There are few herbs which, if you put inside, they will give the fermentation effect along with the sugar and jaggery. And eventually, every molecule of sugar and jaggery will get dissolved and the asa will be prepared, and that has to be kept for maturity for at least 15 months minimum, 15 to 18 months minimum rather. But the classic part of asav and arishta is they don't have expiry. Okay. So, and second is you don't need to put any kind of preservative into that because they are naturally preserving themselves.
Due to
But now,
either a fermentation agent or a
correct, aging
this.
process is there, so they have no expiry. But as per the market problems, even if there is a 1% or 2% of alcohol or whatever is there as per the law, if there is alcohol, the pharmacies will have to pay the excise tax because they have to keep it for 18 months minimum. Before that, they cannot sell. One, the asav and arishta becomes costlier affair. Secondly, they have to pay taxes, the excise tax and all, because of which it becomes again costlier. So what pharmacies do is, if it is getting costlier, they will not be able to sell it, so they stick to kada section where there is a preservative already.
Okay, so they
Okay,
don't sell Asav and Arishta. They don't sell.
so the asav and arishta sale is dropping year by year because of these reasons. There are more reasons to it, but these are also the reasons because of which the section of ayurvedic asav and arishta is the sale is falling down and kadhas are there. Now to pharmacies have come up with solutions where they don't even make kadhas, they prepare their tablets of those same formulations and they use it like
Okay.
kadha. So
Acha.
they give those tablets to the patients and they do their own work because somewhere they need to think about the cost effect also.
Mhm.
Okay. But because of this, what is happening? A section of Ayurveda is getting lost where the medicine which has no expiry is getting
Naturally,
lost.
no expiry. That is also not there. Yeah.
So that section of medicines which is not having expiry, that section is gradually getting lost from the market and other things are coming into the picture. This is as per the market or sale need. But
Because
if
they
they
cannot
try to
afford to
keep it,
store the things for that long for it to
no,
mature
but
and
my
then
point
sell it,
is,
and then you have to pay tax on it and all.
but my
So
point is, drinking a decoction with a preservative and drinking an asa or arista without anything, just a natural form, only fermented. What will you choose? Thing with preservatives or things without preservatives?
without preservative, no.
Without preservatives, right? And again, even if I have to hold it for 15 months, I don't have an expiry. So I
Hmm.
can keep making and I can keep selling.
Hmm.
There are other problems also because Asava and Arista are there, so fermentation is there. So you can't use plastic bottles. You have to use glass bottles.
Glass
So glass
bottles.
bottle breakage is over there. This is altogether a different story. Today's podcast is not about that. But since we are talking about the medicines and all, I'm just giving
You
you
can keep making and keep selling, but you need to have a storage go down because if you make so many and yeah.
exactly. But the thing is, I have used many medicines from metals, made from metals and other things, animal products ho gaye, metals ho gaye, herbs ho gaye, which have no expiry, were made by my grandfather, my uncle, my father. My father has used, my uncle has, they both have used medicines which were prepared by my father, my grandfather and great grandfather.
Grandfather. Okay.
So that is an investment for a Vaidya. We look it as an investment. But
Hmm.
pharmacies, they need to do the business on everyday basis. We will make some 10 kg, 15 kg. Pharmacies will do it in 1000 kg, 500 kg or something like that. So their game is a bigger one. Their risk is a bigger one. So they come up with these kind of solutions. But because of this, the few sections of Ayurveda which are strong points of Ayurveda, that Ayurvedic medicines which don't have expiry at all, I don't think there
Getting
is
lost.
any other pathy or other modern medicine, any medicine in modern is there which don't have expiry.
हाँ ऐसा
Everything has
नहीं
expiry.
होगा. हाँ.
Everything has expiry. Same way about metals also. There are very famous Ayurvedic drugs. Just to name one is Suchekar. Suchekar is known by almost thousands and lakhs of people in India.
Hmm.
It was one of the medicines which used to be there in household, every household 2 generations back, or
Then
even
on.
1 generation back. So acidity ho gaya, ye ho gaya, wo ho gaya, just pop in the tablets.
Yeah, that's true.
Now,
हाँ.
now Suchekar is made in 2 ways. One is with gold, one is without gold.
हाँ. अच्छा.
Okay, both have no expiry since they are made from herbo mineral things. They don't have expiry. But you take any bottle from market, it has an expiry of 3 years. Now, why this is happening? Because previously when they were made, the tablets were made by hand, and any kind of small tablet also was able. We were able to make. So when the Suchekar is made with gold, the tablet will be of a size of a mustard
Okay.
or say a green gram.
Hmm.
Okay, biggest one can be a green gram. Or there will be a stick made of that medicine which you have to rub on the stone with the water or milk or whatever your Vaidya tells you, and that paste you have to consume. So 5 rounds, 2 rounds, 10 rounds, 15 rounds, as per the age, as per the disease severity, the Vaidya used to tell. That was called Sooth Shekhar Matra. That has no expiry. Okay. Now pharmacies have to sell throughout, and uniformity of the size should be there, which will not be able to which will be not there because they were made by hands. So their tablet machines got invented. Now Ayurvedic pharmacies bought the tablet machines. Now tablet machine can make 100 mg tablet, 200 mg tablet, but the medicine which you are using is of 25 mg. If Suvarna Suchekar is 25 mg or 20 mg, but your tablet is of 100 mg or 80 mg, then you need to put fillers into it, which are approved by the FDA. Those fillers, those preservatives, again will have 3 years ka expiry.
But why do you need to put fillers in it? Why can't you just sell it in that small
You can't make
proportion?
you can't make 25 milligram tablet.
It's not allowed.
It is not possible to make it in the machine. The
अच्छा.
punches of the machine can make you 80 milligram, 100 milligram, and above tablet. So even if you want to make a 100 milligram tablet and your medicine is of 25 milligram, then fillers will have that much quantity in every tablet. That is not wrong as per FDA also. That is not wrong as per the market practice also, because it is easy to make 100 milligram tablet on a machine because production is fast.
You cannot
But
make machine with lower. You
no,
cannot invent
there's a
machines.
limit. No, there is a limit. So you cannot go
Okay,
beyond
okay,
that
okay.
limit. Even that is happening in allopathic medicines also, where you see 25 milligram ka blood pressure ka tablet hai, but tablet ka weight is somewhere around 100 milligram or something like that. There also fillers and other things are there in the tablet. My point is not that. That is a practice for requirement of a market. But when I see to it as a medicine, when it is without the fillers, without any preservatives, that medicine has no expiry date. That Sud Shekhar, without these things, made small balls like mustard or green gram, will have no expiry. But once you make a tablet, it will have expiry of 3 years.
3 years.
Again, the question comes: two things are in front of you. What you will choose, with with preservatives or without preservatives? Because it is not about uh,
Yeah.
using preservatives. It is about, you eat biscuits, there are preservatives. Okay, you eat any kind of market ready food, there are preservatives. No one counts in an entire 24 hours day how much preservatives you have consumed. Now, along with that, if you are consuming any medicine, and along with the medicine, again you are eating preservatives, you are adding up to the preservative.
Yeah,
One,
yeah.
I tried to find out, I tried to search, but I am not able to find out. Maybe I am lacking to locate the researches by which they can give you a range where a person can consume this much of preservative daily, so it will not affect your body in some way. I haven't found any kind of that kind of a research on this particular subject,
Actually, yeah, that's okay.
because if those
That is
preservatives
actually something which should be researched in this day and age.
I don't know. Maybe they must have done it, because
Okay.
any molecule which modern science makes and use in large quantities, they do have these kind of data. They must have done these kind of research. I am not able to find out till date what is the quantity of preservatives which can go inside a human body and will not do harm.
Hmm.
Because when we say we should be living chemical free life, then these are also chemicals only.
Yeah.
If we believe in that, then we should think about that also, this also. If we are not believing in that, then it's fine. Then there is no question at all. जो भी चल रहा है अच्छा ही चल रहा है.
हाँ. हाँ.
But by this, Ayurveda is losing on those categories which are the strong points of Ayurveda, where Ayurveda has a category where different medicines made have no expiry and they can last up to centuries and thousands of years, and the potency will be much more.
Got it.
As a Vaidya, I am concerned about that thing. I am not concerned about a market, because I am not running a pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
Pharmacy people, if hear this video, they will say, बोलने के लिए तो सही है, but pharmacy को market में survive करने के लिए ये सब करना ही पड़ेगा. I am fine with that. But these questions do come in my mind as an Ayurvedic doctor. If I don't have answer to these questions, what answers I am going to give to my patients?
Hmm.
That is what troubles me a lot. These are
Got
the
it.
things one should think about in this angle also. That is my point.
So in general, the medicines do not usually have an expiry date. Most of the medicines in Ayurveda, where there are no fillers involved and
No,
all,
no, no, no.
there is
No,
no.
it's not like that. No, it's not like that. Herbal powders generally have 2 months ka expiry. Once you powder it, 2 months. If you use various kind of advanced packing technologies nowadays, FDA allows you to write an expiry of 6 months to 2 years time. That's how it is changed. There are various types of medicines mentioned in Ayurveda. Herbal powders, mineral powders, herbomineral powders. Then there are tablets, there are ashes, there are alkalis, there are decoctions, there are various kinds. I even can't remember.
That's
Uh,
okay.
in the
My
beginning, which I
point
told,
was that there are few जिसका genuinely नहीं है expiry date
no,
वैसा.
there are few. Yeah, there are few gold. Any kind of gold preparation don't have expiry. Any kind of asavarishta don't have expiry. Just to
हाँ हाँ.
emphasis on the point, these are the two categories I always think about. There are problems in the industry. I don't deny that there are problems, but there should be some solution in this reference also.
Got it.
That is what my point.
Okay. This has been a very, very, very insightful podcast. So
Thank
thank
you
you.
very Thank you
Thanks
very
a
much.
lot. And I will just take the viewers through your portfolio. And can we just go through it once? Because there are a few interesting things in that as well.
Yeah,
So
tell me.
I just share my screen.